Bushy brings him down the front stretch. Bushy's going to lead, and now the caution flag will come out. Pete Schroy had rolled to a stop over in turn number 2. Green flag's going to wave off turn number 4. Bushy right down to the bottom of the racetrack, brings the field down the front stretch. Bushy to the inside, Dockstader to the top side. They work off turn number 2. Down the backstretch they will go. The 57 of Federley holds on to spot number 3. Mike White chasing him in the 1X. Then it's the 14R of Sid Harmer Jr. as they go to turn number 3 and 4. Bushy right to the top side of the racetrack, opens the door. Dockstader looks to the inside. They touch just coming off turn number 4. And now they'll head down to turn number 3. Now off turn number 2. We look the other end of the racetrack. Dockstader down the backstretch. We got caution out on the Speedway. I've got a bunch of debris down here on the front stretch.
33, this is your only warning. You do that again, you will be in the pits. Yellow. The yellow goes up and they go again.
Down to turn number 3 and 4. Look them over. Green flag will wave once again. 3-wide battle front on the field. Mike White went to the bottom of the racetrack, drove to the inside. He'll try to get under Dockstader, but Bushy drives off the top of turn number 2. He'll take him down the backstretch. Mike White up to the number 2 spot. Dockstader third. Here comes Sid Harmer Jr. in that 14. He'll look right at the back bumper of Mike White's number 1X as they come off turn number 4. Bushy gets a good run to the top side of the X15. He'll take him down into turn number 1 and 2. Bushy and White will battle off the south end of the racetrack. Down the backstretch they will go. Bushy, then White, then Dockstader in the number 60. They go into turn number 3 and 4. The number 14 are Sid Harmer Jr. in that number 4 spot. He's got company now as the 57 of Kevin Federley has caught his back bumper as well as Burton Ward's number 28 machine. Ward down to the extreme bottom of the racetrack. Off turn number 2 they will go down the back. It continues to be the 15 of Bushy out in front of the field. Mike White's throwing everything at him. Down to turn number 3. White's going to look to the inside in the Dow Mechanical 1X out of Winthrop, New York. He'll look to the inside of the Speedway. Dockstader trying to hold that 3rd spot. He's got company now as Sid Harmer Jr. goes outside him. Harmer up to the number 3 spot. They work off turn number 2. Bushy lengthening that lead down the backstretch as he'll get a car and a half out in front of Mike White. They swing into turn number 3. White to the bottom of the racetrack. Bushy right through the middle of the Speedway. They'll continue to battle. Harmer goes to the outside of Dockstader's number 60. Sid Harmer Jr. up to the number 3 spot. Bunch of feature wins under his belt in that 14 machine here in the 2020 season. Gets up to 3rd right now. Sets his sights on our leaders down the backstretch. They head into turn number 3 and 4. Dockstader trying to get right back to him one more time as Bushy brings the field off for White 2nd. 3rd is Harmer. 4th is Dockstader. And then it's Burton Ward rounding out the top 5 as they go to turn number 2 this time. Down the back, that battle will continue. Right back behind these guys, it will be the 57 of Kevin Federley, the 3 of Sean Kirby, the 4 of Mike Durham, the 3 of Rick Duskus follows him down into turn number 3 and 4. Back up front, this battle continuing right here. This is for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Mike White continues to hold the number 2 spot as they head down into turn number 3 and 4 this time with Dockstader holding on to the 3rd position as they are, the 4th position now as they clear onto some lap traffic off turn number 4. They'll get under the Damian Gates number 28 down the front stretch. Harmer all the way to the top side of the racetrack trying to find something on the outside. Mike White able to just drive away from him on the bottom of the Speedway down the backstretch. White got a beautiful run off turn number 2 that last time by. Our leader's got lap traffic sitting right in his lap one more time as they come racing down the front stretch. Bushy trying to lengthen his lead out in front of this field. White 2nd, 3rd is Harmer, 4th Dockstader, followed by Burton Ward as they go off turn number 2 again. Sid Harmer Jr. able to close the gap, but Mike White able to hold him off as they go off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Continuing to watch this battle here. This is for the number 2 spot. Sid Harmer Jr. gets to the outside, but Mike White powers down the front stretch to hold on to the number 2 position as they work down to turn number 2. Doc Stater about 5 car lengths back from this battle as they come off turn number 4 down into turn number 3 this time, I should say. I'm looking at the wrong end of the racetrack again as they go down turn number 3. Mike White to the bottom. This time Sid Harmer comes down to the bottom, gives White a little shot on the back bumper, loosened him up for a second, couldn't quite get to him. They'll work into turn number 1 and 2. Slow car is the Gates number 83 as they work off turn number 2. White down to the bottom, able to slide by Gates easy as they head down to turn number 3 and 4. This time the Sid Harmer comes down the racetrack, gets right in line behind the white number 1 X Machine. Off turn number 4, they will go Tyler Bushy, continuing to try to stretch that lead out in front of the field. Goes down off turn number 2 down the backstretch. He will go about a half a straightaway lead down the backstretch as our leaders continue to work lap traffic down into turn number 3 and 4. Mike White able to get under the Shroy number 33. Here comes the 14 of Harmer. Now the number 60 of Doc Stater has closed that gap on Harmer. Doc Stater is going to look to the inside. He'll challenge for the number 3 spot down to turn number 1 and 2. And the late going Doc Stater has found something in that number 60 as he'll look to the inside of the Harmer number 14 down the backstretch. They'll head to turn number 3 and 4. 5 fingers up that last time by for our leader. Just 5 more laps to go as Bushy continues to work lap traffic here down the front straight. Doc Stater got to Harmer, couldn't get by him as Mike White continues to hold the number 2 spot off turn number 2. To the outside goes Harmer again down the backstretch, and Mike White just pulls away down into turn number 3 and 4. They work through the north end of the Speedway. Bushy down the front stretch, score lap number 16 at the line. 4 more to go here for the Fabco Dirt Car Pro Stocks. There's your leader down the backstretch, the X15, Tyler Bushy out of Ogdensburg, New York. Will bring him down into turn number 3 and 4, looking for his first win of the 2020 racing season here at Can-Am. Drives it right through the top of the Speedway, brings him down the front stretch. Continuing to try to stretch that lead in front of the field. Mike White second, third is the 14R of Sid Harmer Jr. Then it's the 60 of Doc Stater as they head off turn number 2 down the backstretch. They'll work through turn number 3 this time against slow cars in front of our leader. So Tyler Bushy has to be careful coming off turn number 4 as he looks to the outside of the Damian Gates number 28G. He'll drive by on the high side of the Speedway. Parallel flags up that last time by. Just 2 more trips around. 1 car is slow off the backstretch. That is the 28 of Burton Ward, I believe, that's rolled way off the back surface. So we remain under green. They work off turn number 4 this time. It'll be the white flag coming out for the number 15 of Tyler Bushy. 1 more trip around as he works down into turn number 2 down the backstretch. He will go. Battle continues for the number 2 spot. Mike White holding on to it in front of Sid Harmer Jr. as they work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Checkered flag will be coming out this time off turn number 4. Tyler Bushy, the young man out of Ogdensburg, New York, is going to score his first feature of the year here at Can-Am in the X15 machine. He'll park it in victory lane. Second spot will belong to the number 1 of Mike White. He'll be followed by the 14R of Sid Harmer Jr., the number 60 of Taylor Doc Stater, and Burton Ward's number 28 machine. Rolling to a stop over on the backstretch. So Sean Kirby's going to finish in the number 5 spot. Duskus finishes 6th. 7th is Mike Durham. Kevin Federley comes home 8th. 9th, Tim Bailey, and Ed Koteri will round out the top 10 for our Fabco Dirt Car Pro Stocks here tonight. Finally climbing out in victory lane in the Fabco Dirt Car Pro Stocks is Tyler Bushy. Tyler, congratulations, man. You've been battling, trying to put this thing out front for a long time here at Can-Am. Finally put her in victory lane.
Yeah, we've been struggling for a while, but we're finally getting there, and it really worked tonight. Right up on the top, and I just took it easy, and it worked out.
Yeah, this car, like right from the start, once you got to the front, there was no turning back tonight.
Yeah, well, we usually race up in Brockville, and I put it right to the top, and I said I'm just going to ease it like I do there, and it worked here too.
People you want to thank, Tyler?
Oh, I got to thank my crew, Frank, Aaron, my dad, my Uncle John, Mike Fenton, Stouts Ready Mix, my girlfriend Abby, all my family watching at home. Custom Rustics, there's a whole bunch of C&M. I'm going to forget a bunch. Nick Stone for helping us. Everybody.
And you finally got it done. You wait till the last night of the regular season to finally put it down here.
Yeah, and I'm just glad we finally did it. We've been struggling, and to finally get the win feels good.
All right, congratulations. Tyler Bushy is going to pick up the win here tonight for your Fabco Dirt Car Pro Stock Division. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2020 track champion in the Fabco Dirt Car Pro Stock Division, Mike White. Congratulations, buddy. You've been digging. This thing was lightning fast all year. You put it in victory lane a couple of times, but man, this thing really paid off.
It did. We struggled last year with this new car, and we had just such a bad year, and we've been working hard at it all year, and paid off.
People you want to thank, Mike?
Yeah, first of all, Tyler for putting this all on for us. I mean, we could have just as well not raced it all this summer, and I appreciate that. I appreciate all my crew, Justin, Kenny, Pam, my grandkids, Preston, Virgil, everybody that helps out. We couldn't do it without them.
How's it feel to be the track champion at Can-Am?
It feels good. It's been 10 years since the last one, so feels great.
All right, a couple more weeks of racing, though, and you're still going to come down and battle it out.
I'm going to let my kid run the rest of the season, and I'm going to probably run once or twice down at Oktoberfest or whatever it is, and we'll see. We'll see what goes on.
Congratulations, Mike White is your 2020 Fabco Dirt Car Pro Stock Champion.
We'll bring that right up, yeah.
This is like a participation. He's been good here all year.
Hey, you know, Jeff, you know he's going to keep that one forever, right?
I know it's little ladies do. A couple weeks ago they were ready to fight each other.
I remember Jancic missed a race. He had to go that way.
Yeah.
But it's part of it.